This is QTV News. I am Marietu Sidibe and thanks for joining us. First, the headlines. The much talked about march demanding that the president steps down from office after 3 years took place today. A nationwide tour by the Office of National Security and Partners is underway. The tour will seek views about the reform of the country's security sector. Soldiers from Holland have taken part in a significant renovation project at Madrassatul Al-Hussein, a Qur'anic school in Tanji. Shiloh Bilingual Education Center, SBEC International, recently held its speech and prize-giving ceremony. For more on these and other stories, stay tuned. And now the news in detail. Gambians under the banner 3 years Jotna on Monday marched in a peaceful protest from Sting Corner to Denton Bridge, asking President Adama Barrow to step down next month. As Alusise reports, they handed a petition to the president through government spokesperson Ibrahima Sankare.
These peaceful protesters started to gather as early as 7 a.m. local time to march in unison to Denton Bridge, asking President Barrow to respect the 3-year agreement. However, under the Gambian constitution, an elected president serves for 5 years. It is the first time since the change of government in 2016 after 22 years of authoritarian rule that such a protest is taking place in the country.
Behind me are members of the 3 years Jotna who are protesting, asking the president to step down and honor the 3-year agreement which he had with the coalition members. Barrow came to power in 2016 with a promise to serve for 3 years. However, he is determined to serve for 5 years as mandated by the constitution. This month earlier, he announced that he's going to register his party and launch it next month.
We don't need a president who is bringing dictatorship in our country again, because this is what we fought for, never again, and it will never again.
Fundamental right for me to come and stand here today to request our State House. And we need Adam Barrow to come out, to step down.
Sirif Sise and Yankuba Dabo, both UK-based Gambians and party organizers, said the protest is the first step towards removing President Barrow.
So we are here to remind him, today, so that, he can, fulfill his promise. But this one is a petition to remind him, and we are giving him a grace period of 1 month from now to the 18th of January. His mandate is ending on the 18th of January. If he didn't adhere to our warnings, we are coming back on the 28th of January. We are going to occupy Banjul. We will never go back home until President Barrow resigns.
It's our national duty to stand up for the 2016 coalition MOU, because the reason why that came into being and the reason why it was agreed by all the parties at the time, because they knew it was for the best interest of the Gambia. If it was for the best interest of the Gambia in 2016, embraced by the whole of the nation or the majority of Gambians, why is it bad today in 2019?
At the bridge, after over an hour negotiation, the peaceful protesters handed over a petition to the government spokesperson Ibrahima Sankare for onwards delivery to President Barrow. They are hoping the president will consider their demands, which includes honoring the 3-year agreement.
And we're very much grateful that the government sent you to take this as a spokesperson of the government. And then we very much hope also that the letter will be delivered to where it is going to be delivered. As some people might be claiming there that, it should be the minister or anybody else. But he is a very high personal of the government. He is a spokesperson of the government.
Prior to this, the protesters have expressed dissatisfaction for Sankare to be handed the petition demanding a person with a higher portfolio. Whether President Barrow will succumb to the pressure from the protesters or not, it promises to be an interesting time in the coming days and weeks. What is certain is that the protesters do not show any sign of relenting in pressuring the president to vacate State House. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alusise.
The Office of the National Security, in collaboration with the Geneva Center for Security Sector Governance, on Monday embarked on a nationwide sensitization tour on the security sector reform process. Babukar C is with the team and files in this report.
The tour is to help enhance public awareness on the purpose and functions of the security sector reform process. In Kerewan, North Bank region, the team met with the governor, district chiefs, and residents of the surrounding villages. Welcoming the team, the governor of North Bank region said the reform process is timely and necessary.
Security is everybody's business. Nothing can work. In fact, without security, there is no development. Development is paramount. But at the same time, if you don't have security, nothing works.
The interim country head of the Geneva Center for Security Sector Governance, DECAF, Pansao Nyasi, said the purpose of the countrywide tour is to exchange views with citizens, as the security sector is key to the development of any nation.
The motivating factor is we carried out a nationwide survey. We call it Public Perception Survey on SSR. And we discovered that at least 80% of Gambians, are not aware of what is happening in SSR. Some people don't know anything about it at all. Some people heard of it, but they don't think anything is happening.
Rohi Samba, Communication Strategist for Security Sector Reform Office, tells us more on the importance of the tour.
For the most times, policies and strategies are formulated in the Greater Banjul area. But with security sector reform, following an in-depth assessment that was done all over the country, we need to go back and tell them how far we are going.
The current government promised that the security sector would be reformed to ensure an effective and accountable security sector with full respect for human rights, the rule of law, and fundamental principles of good governance. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
A general renovation exercise was recently conducted at Madrassatul Al-Hussein, a Qur'anic school in Tanji. The work was carried out by a group of soldiers from Holland, part of a foundation called Future for the Young People.
The volunteers from the foundation Future for the Young People are on an annual visit to the Gambia and use the occasion to engage in doing free work on a number of community projects. Lamin Kamara, a committee member of Madrassatul Al-Hussein, explains the history of the school and also appeals for more help.
Someone
gave us part of his land and we decided to make blocks. We used palm leaves to roof the building. Later, we got a donation of corrugated iron and we removed the palm leaves. We were struggling and now a resident of our community, Alaji Sao, offered us renovation support for the classrooms and we are very grateful for the help.
One of the founders of the foundation Future of the Young People, Petra van der Heul, shed light on the various projects the foundation has embarked on in the community of Tanji to assist youth empowerment.
We started to renovate the youth and community center here in the village Tanji. We created there the first internet cafe of the village, a library, a carpentry workshop, a big hall where people can do all kinds of activities like programs and things like that, meetings. That was our first project. From there we started a school in Jakaba to renovate the school for more than 300 children who are going to school now every day. Next to that, that was our third project, was the care farm here in the village. It's called the Goat Farm. It's a place where people with disabilities can have a job. And we have a shop now there, we have a garden, we have some sheep there, all kinds of things. And our fourth project is a cultural and educative skills center here in the village where young people with skills can also raise an income by sharing their knowledge, djembe play, batik, sand painting, all kinds of things with people who are coming, also people from Europe, but also local people.
Jody Bogner, a volunteer and a student from a military training school in Holland, expresses delight with his participation in such a novel venture.
But around here you see people that it's poor and you want to help them, and you see like the walls and stuff. you see progress, and you see how glad people are that you're here and helping them. That's really how it gives energy and stuff.
The Future for the Young People Foundation was established in January 2007, and since then the community of Tanji has benefited from several life skills projects, focusing mainly on empowering and improving the socio-economic status of youths. The renovation project was conducted by 28 military personnel who are part of the foundation. For QTV News, Lamin Alaj Fandin Dabo.
Shiloh Bilingual Education Center, SBEC International, on Saturday organized a speech and prize-giving ceremony. The event was to reward dedicated and deserving students in academics, sports and exemplary behavior. Mam Jara Sise reports.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
SBEC International Speech and Prize-Giving Ceremony rewarded outstanding students in Arabic language, English and mathematics, with the theme Be a Man of Values and Not Just a Man of Success. The head of SBEC Bilingual International's Arabic School, Abubakar Keba Dafe, says that the view of why people learn the Arabic language has changed from what it was in the past.
In some compounds, we still have Arabic backgrounds there, like in the 80s and the early 90s, where children will go home with homeworks without having anyone to assist them. So I think the trend has changed a lot. And then I think all the international schools or the well-recognized schools are introducing Arabic language because it's one of the world's most recognized languages in terms of ranking.
May Ahmad Fati, leader of the Gambia Moral Congress, a speaker at the ceremony, says the theme Be a Man of Values and Not Just a Man of Success is very fitting for the occasion. He added that we are in a society where the young are living in a difficult and challenging environment.
We are focusing too much on just literacy, and literacy is not all. If we don't build the moral character of our people, we will have the type of leadership that we are all complaining about today. You know, that don't care much about morality, don't care much about integrity, don't care much about service delivery, but selfishness and solving the personal individual and your family. So what we need to do is have a shift. Government ought to encourage education at all levels, not just the traditional conventional schools that we have, but also Arabic education, Islamic schools, and Christian schools. Religious schools also ought to be encouraged.
Fatou Sencham, a teacher at SBEC, explains the significance of the prize-giving ceremony.
It signifies success because as teachers, we are always working for success. So with the support of our able and dynamic leaders, we have the best encouragement. Yes, so if the children perform like this, that's a great day for us.
Karamba, a student who received 3 awards in Arabic, English and mathematics, expressed his delight at receiving the prizes. He urged his fellow students to work hard in school. Prizes were also given to the best students as an act of appreciation by the school's administration to motivate the students to excel and inspire others to aim higher. Awards were given to the best students in written and oral Arabic, mathematics and English.
Assalamu alayka ya habibi ya nabi Allah.
Reporting for QTV News, I am Mamjara Asise.
We will go with a short commercial break, and when we return, we hear about a day-long career counseling training by Dinding Yiriwa Federation. We also hear about an important change in the method of buying groundnuts from farmers. Join us after the break for these stories and more.
10 years. For 10 years, we have worked to deliver world-class products and services. For 10 years, we have cultivated a reputation of excellence and quality. For 10 years, we have strived to support our people and our culture. With a history of quality behind us and a present-day drive to be the best, we continue to forge ahead towards a future of growth. As a quality network you trust, we have worked to ensure stability, innovation, and distinction. QCell, a decade of innovation, a lifetime of trust.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is QTV News. A day-long career counseling training was organized by Dinding Yiriwa Federation, a community-based organization affiliated to Child Fund The Gambia. The event was for the Federation-sponsored children from the districts of Kombo North and South. Lamin Dabo reports.
The counseling training was organized for sponsored children who have either completed or dropped out of school to enable them choose careers of their choice. Suleiman Njai, a retired educationist, says career choice starts from an individual's personal evaluation prior to making a choice. He went on to explain how delaying of children's access to career counseling affects a child's level of progress in society.
When it comes to the personality, what do I have in store, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, looking at the job, what does it entail, and how would I be able to pursue it. And then you also look at, if I have this job, how am I going to be able to help my community? When you are in the upper basic, 7, 8, and 9, this is where we want to help these children to see the different careers, the job options that are there, what those things entail, and how you can be able to study to be what you want to be using the career path. So that when you get to grade 10, when they are now telling you which area you want to be, am I going to be an art student? Am I going to be a commerce student? Am I going to be a science student? You've already decided what area of specialization you want to be in, and then you continue that and you pursue it.
Keba Nyado, sponsorship and program coordinator of the Dindi Yiriwa Federation, says not completing senior secondary school should not be seen as an obstacle to success.
Most children consider themselves as failures when they drop out of school. Some of you drop out of school, and when you drop out of school, you think you have failed. Not knowing that with a grade 9 education, even with a limited education, there are other professions that you can learn and earn good, support a family.
One of the training facilitators, Safiatou Savage Sidibe, urges parents to hold conversations with their children in terms of career choice. Aminata Jaite, a participant, set light on some of her expectations after the training.
All that we are expecting at the end of this program is that for them to be able to guide us in our various careers that we decided to specialize in, and also for them to be able to help us in terms of sponsoring and paying of our tuition fees, and also to learn new knowledge since there are people who experience a lot in work.
The Yiriwa Federation is implementing various development programs and other forms of assistance to various communities, mainly child protection and empowerment of youth. For QTV News, Lamin Alaj Fandin Dabo.
The people of Kasany in Fonyi Bintang have complained about the poor state of the village health center. With no drugs, no ambulance, and only one nurse, residents say they have been deprived of the right to affordable medical care for years.
Despite numerous efforts by Kasany Youth Development Association to highlight the poor condition of the only health center in the village, residents are still faced with numerous challenges in fulfilling the objectives for a better healthcare system. In an interview with QTV, Aissatou Toure, a volunteer working at Kasany Health Center, explained some of the challenges they face, especially pregnant women in labor.
Na kwelea kuo follow ambulance tembuluja.
Flanjango no sol tejang. No sol mansia. Sabanjango boro bikasoto. Naninjango bo.
Part of our challenge is that there is no ambulance in our health center. Secondly, there is only one nurse and that is not enough. Also, there is no medication for patients. If a pregnant woman wants to give birth, we use a horse or a donkey cart to transport her to Stibarnol Health Center, which is a private one and costly. If one decides to go to Biam General Hospital, it is also expensive.
The youth leader of Kasanye Development Association, Omar Biayi, gave a brief history of the health center and appeals for support from individuals and organizations to enable quality healthcare delivery to the people of Kasanye and surrounding villages.
As you can see, the building, these two buildings here behind was constructed during the colonial time. But due to the political affairs, the hospital was not having support from the government. But if the time for Bikida come, they come together, they feel necessary that is the only hospital that we're going to focus in order to help, because the hospital we have, Sibanor, is a little bit far away from the other villages. So the four Bikida come together, they make a mood block here. They build the building with the help of the former MP called Janko Sanyang from Barabud Kantora. So from there, the government of the Gambia, where the president was passing, he also gave them donation. So it's where we start. And we have the help from the CCF called Child Fund, now called Tintim Bandaba, who is bringing the medical guy who is going to look after, and they are the one supporting to give us the medicine also. Until now, the government tried to send us one health attendant who was also here. Now we went inside, there is no water here. We don't have water here. And we cannot live in a health area without no water. By walking here, we all know that we have a water problem. It's not only the health center, even the village. When you go after, you will see that we have lack of water. Definitely, we are appealing for the government or the private sector to help us with water.
Kasanye Health Center has two wards. One is the outpatient department, where patients are provided medical consultations and other allied services, while the other is for both HIV and tuberculosis diagnosis. According to the villagers, both these facilities are not functioning as required. The health center is supposed to serve 7 communities within the district of Fonyi Bintan Karanai, which includes Kili, Katakor, Bulanjor, Jakoy Sibiri, Bintang, and Kanuma. With no drugs to treat patients, no ambulance, and only one nurse, the people in this community feel that their right to affordable medical care remains a distant reality. For QTV News, Lamin Alaifan in Davao.
A press release from the Ministry of Agriculture signals an historic first. The release not only announces that the groundnut price has been set at 18,000 per ton, it requests farmers to take their produce to the nearest buying point and emphasizes that, for the first time, there will be no payment on credit. From now on, farmers will be paid on delivery. Before we end this bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main stories. The much talked about march demanding that the president steps down from office after 3 years took place today. A nationwide tour by the Office of National Security and Partners is underway. The tour will seek views about the reform of the country's security sector. Soldiers from Holland have taken part in a significant renovation project at Madrassatul Al-Hussein, a Qur'anic school in Tanji. Shiloh Bilingual Education Center, SBEC International, recently held its speech and prize-giving ceremony. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news. Thank you for watching.